What's going on, guys? Back with another vid. Back finally with my Wrestlemania 39 reactions, reviews, slash thoughts. About a day or so late, but I kind of wanted to do that purposely because I wanted to let my thoughts simmer, not be too in the moment, I wanted to kind of remove myself from it just a tad bit, just to really gather my thoughts and really give you guys my best, thoughts and reactions on the show. Overall, love the show. Night one and night two, both great nights. Didn't really have a problem with any matches. Really, I had a couple of nitpicky stuff, but nothing like that was going to bother me and make me not enjoy the show. Excuse my voice as well. Woke up about 30 to 40 minutes ago. Wanted to pump these out, get these out. Today's currently Tuesday. I hope to get these out on the day that I'm recording this. But yeah, like I said, I pretty much enjoyed everything. Cena in theory, starting off the show for the U.S. title. I really wanted this match to go a little longer. And maybe that's where my expectations kind of got skewed in a way because, with Cena the past couple of years and just pretty much his last couple of years full time in the WWE were really about, the U.S. title, putting on these great matches. And I was expecting the match to go a little longer and not necessarily end on one finish, one A-Town down, but it did. And again, my expectations were skewed. I expected more out of this match than I thought. I had this whole idea that Cena might win it and then lose it to somebody on the next night or on Raw. Don't even want to fucking talk about the Raw after Mania. I'll probably comment on it later after I get done reviewing these matches, but that shit, that shit was bad. I didn't want the match to at least go a little longer. They had the whole dirty tactics, ref bump, low blow. Austin Theory was biting Cena on multiple occasions, really doing anything to get the win, which he obviously did for the U.S. title, obviously. But again, like I said, I wish the match went just a little bit longer, a couple more, in-ring, spots they could have did. It felt like a very Raw match, like a very Monday Night Raw-esque match. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to open up the pay-per-view, I was hoping for a little bit more. And the same thing on night two with Omos and Brock. I'm not expecting Brock and Omos to go 15, 20 minutes. I just want to see some big dudes throwing each other around, throwing big bows, and doing all of what they do. And that's what they did. But again, I wanted it to go just a tad bit longer, maybe 3-4 minutes longer. Same thing with the Cena match, just a little bit more of something, And again, my expectations kind of skewed a couple of things for the opening matches. But, nonetheless, those were two, they were fine matches to me, personally. They were fine. They weren't bad. They weren't necessarily the greatest either, but they were fine matches. And we had the tag matches for both nights. Just absolute chaos in the best way possible. Everyone got their stuff in. Everyone had their spots. Everyone had their high spots. Everyone had their crazy moments. It was super enjoyable, super fast-paced action. It was awesome. And, it didn't go too long. It was just perfect. So, props to everyone that was in the tag matches. Obviously, a lot of people look at those matches and scoff at them and oh, you're just on the card just to be on the card, to fill it up kind of thing. But even I said that. And they know it's just a match for them to be on the card and showcase what all they can do, you know what I mean? But they showed out. The women and the men, they both went crazy. Ronda and Shayna picking up the win like I predicted. Even though Ronda didn't really get involved much in terms of physically. I heard some people say she's not cleared yet. I never even knew she was hurt in the slightest. So, but they got the win. That's much needed. Ronda wants to do her thing with Shayna, so hopefully they can push that forward in the right light and it works out for them. The Street Profits picking up the dub in the men's match, which was great for them. Again, fun matches, great spots, a lot of fun action. What more can you ask from these big showcase matches on the Mania card? Then we have Damage Control taking on Becky and Lita, the tag champs, and Trish Stratus. Again, great match, awesome match, great spots. Just all around fun, really. Becky and Lita and Trish picking up the dub, hopefully heading forward. Damage Control, I don't know I don't mind them as a team if they decide to push them and actually give them wins and actually let them do something other than just hold the titles, barely defend them, and then lose them, and then kind of have this they're very just mid, for lack of a better term, they're very mid. They're not particularly bad at all. I love Dakota, I love Io, I love Bayley, love all of them. Not particularly bad, but they're not particularly the greatest either. In terms of, connecting with the crowd, not seeming like just a generic bad, heel group. It was just kind of a lot of singles talent, mashed together. And, they've kind of had a on and off, okay, kind of meh run. So if they decide to keep them together, I'm all for it. I want to see them do great if that's what they want to do with the team stuff. Obviously, Bayley tweeted something out saying goodbye, all good things come to an end. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, but something along those lines, goodbye. Dakota and Io came out on Raw last night, and there was no mention of Bayley at all. No just know anything. And like I said about commenting on the Raw, once it was confirmed that Vince had a hand in majority of the show, I'm like, yeah, this is the reason why. It was compared to every other Raw and SmackDown show that has been booked by Triple H from like whenever he took over way back in around SummerSlam July till like Mania, is drastically different from what was put on tonight. This was a very Vince McMahon show. Constant rewrites, constant changes. Fans at the show said like the people that work on the production on the hard cam side of the arena got like 2 to 3 different like sheets like of what was going on the card. So much change. People were pulled from the show. A lot of segments cut, like classic Vince fashion. I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh, Vince, you know, like complaining all the time. I don't like to complain. I actually despise complaining. I want to enjoy the show, sit back, not take it as serious. That's what pulled me out of wrestling initially back in 2019. I was constantly overanalyzing, constantly feeding into this negative complaining. And a lot of the time, you know, like I'll take some accountability and say I could have just sat back and enjoyed it a lot more, but it wasn't much to enjoy. Weekly, I could not watch I couldn't watch the shows anymore. And if they're going to be like that, not to jump to conclusions or just assume that all those shows are going to be like Raw's last night. If they're like that, man, come on, man. How can Vince sit up and say, you know, I'm retiring, I'm taking a step back, I'm not going to be within the weeds anymore, and then quite literally you are running a show into the ground? Maybe I'm exaggerating by saying that, but this show just felt so random. Segments and promos felt rushed. Rollins made his way to the ring. The crowd was singing a song. It went into a commercial just for them to come back out of commercial, them to still be singing the song and him just leave. Very awkward stuff, but not to get off topic, let's get back to this Mania card. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul was absolute banger of a match like I knew it would be. Logan Paul coming down on the zip line with a walking prime bottle that ended up being KSI, which was absolutely amazing. Had a bunch of crazy spots, you know, Rollins pulling KSI into the way of Logan Paul's frog splash to the outside of the ring through the announce table. That was fun. This dude Logan Paul is like a freak, bro. He's a freak athlete. Being able to just slot himself into this business, like a lot of celebrities like Bad Bunny, and just be able to pull out these insane moves. Bro jumped from the floor to the top rope and just did a moonsault right off the bat. Like, that is just wild to me. And it's just like, a lot of these celebrities are so unassuming. We always expect them to get like a little bump here and there, you know, maybe a punch or an elbow drop or a splash or something, but nothing like Canadian destroyers, buckshot lariats, like just absolutely wild shit that these guys are able to do is just so phenomenal. Have guys like Logan Paul and Bad Bunny that are like super big within the realm of, you know, mainstream media, you know, music and stuff. It's great for the business, honestly. And to have them truly take it serious and truly, you know, try to perfect like their ability in the ring. It's just so unheard of, and it's just so refreshing to see celebrities come in and really treat the product how it should be treated. Seth Rollins picking up the win. Great match. Really love this one. Awesome. He had Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Another great match. Dom coming down to the ring out of prison. Just loved it with the Mysterio mask. Being escorted by police officers. Great stuff. Rey coming to the ring with the lowrider driven by Snoop. Snoop's music playing, Eddie's music playing. Great tribute, great entrance, and great attire, honestly, with the great Muda inspired mask. You know, awesome stuff from Rey. One thing I will say to nitpick again, and I'll probably make a video on this later. Making a video about it seems crazy, but I want to make like my wrestling pet peeves video, because it's stuff I've held in for years that I just generally would like to put into a video and really express my thoughts and get people's views on it. I have no problem with sponsorships in wrestling, right? But in wrestling, it's so weird. It's different from like a NASCAR driver with a bunch of brands on his car sponsoring him, or NBA teams having like Nike logos or whatever other logo patch or sponsors they have, like with their shoes, whatever the case is. It doesn't take away from, you know, the product at all. But in wrestling, we're in storylines, we're in feuds. I'm supposed to like still take the matches, the blood feud seriously with a big ass cinnamon toast crunch emoji dancing at ringside and like all along the LED barricade. Like, what are we doing? And I know with WWE merging with Endeavor and UFC, that partnership, there's only going to be more brand deals coming along the way. Again, no problem. Just in wrestling, integrating that into the match is just so weird. We started at the Rumble, the Mountain Dew pitch black match. People asking before the lead up to the match, what the hell even is that? What is a Mountain Dew pitch black match? And it's exactly, I can't even say it's exactly what people expected, because it wasn't what they expected at all. You know, honestly, I didn't mind it. It was fine. It was Definitely one of the matches of all time, if you will. Just the most random shit. It was basically a glow in the dark match. It's just a bunch of randomness for the sake of sponsorships. I have no problem with it in terms of like if wrestlers want to go do commercials or have like little skits and backstage segments for sponsorships. Those work a little better to me personally. But come on, dude. Mountain Dew, pitch black, glow in the dark match, cinnamon toast crunch. I know Race, well, he appeared on a cereal box, but like, come on, man, what is this? Goddamn, the Intercontinental Championship match coming down to the ring. They're advertising Mike's Lemonade. And it's like on the nameplates and stuff. Like subtle stuff like that is okay, but like it seems a little overbearing in wrestling, you know? I don't know. That's just my personal take. I'll probably explain about it more in a different video, but yeah, Ray versus Dom was awesome. Ray picking up the win. Great match. Women's titles matches for the Raw and SmackDown side were both great. Obviously, the SmackDown one sticks out a bit more. They were throwing crazy moves at each other. German suplex from Rhea on Charlotte's face, which looked terrifying. Great back and forth match. Awesome match. Rhea picking up the win. Like I said in my predictions video, Rhea, hottest woman in the company right now outside of like, you know, players like Bianca and stuff. So really looking forward to seeing them fight each other eventually. And on the Raw side of things, Bianca and Asuka put on a great match as well. Bianca picking up the win. A lot of back and forth in that match, ducking the mist and then Asuka ducking the braid. Just a lot of fun stuff with them as well. Great matches on the women's championship sides for both matches for sure. We had the tag match between the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Another absolutely amazing match. The storytelling, the haluva kicks that Sami Zayn delivered at the end of that match to Jay when he fell out of the corner and he held him like he held Kevin Owens. Just the callbacks, you know, it's just absolutely amazing stuff. You know, we've got new undisputed tag team champions. So we're looking forward to see what Sami and Kevin do with those titles heading forward. Hopefully they have a lengthy run where they put on a bunch of great matches on, you know, even like the weekly shows and pay-per-views and stuff. Yeah, hopefully they go forward and put on a lot of great matches. You know, them as tag champions is going to be fun, pretty entertaining. I feel like in ring, on the mic, whatever they decide to do. I'm looking forward to it. Back to the Intercontinental Championship match. Outside of the sponsorships, you know, pet peeve, nitpicking. Great match. Awesome match. Loved it. Just three dudes throwing chops, headbutts, drop kicks, bro kicks, step up knees, claymores, bro, like, come on, all of it, bro. Perfect. Love the match. I said in my predictions, if Sheamus wins because he's never held the IC title, great. Gunther can go on to do, you know, world title stuff. But it seems like they still want him to continue his great Intercontinental Championship reign, bringing prestige back to that title. And obviously, since Cody is still involved with the bloodline and they're going on to do their thing still and rerunning that story for however long that ends up taking. But yeah, great triple threat match. We have Edge and Finn in the Hell in a Cell. You know, Brood Edge coming out with like, it looked like a metallic skull, which was like insane. Awesome. Brood music switching into Metalingus, you know, Edge's theme. Great entrance. Finn coming out in like the red, purplish, Judgment Day like themed demon, which was awesome. I'm a huge Finn mark. I just want to say that. Ever since he debuted in 2014 and he brought out the demon paints, I've always loved him. Even back when he was in New Japan and he had like stuff like the Joker, Venom, Carnage, those themed paints, I always loved him. As he kind of transferred over to WWE and like NXT, the Demon was fine. I love the Demon. They didn't make it too goofy or, you know, make him seem like a whole different entity. But as soon as he got to the main roster, they started to treat the Demon like, just rightfully so, this like googly moogly, ooh, the Demon, he's spooky, he's scary. Like, it's too much. You know, it was initially treated as like an entire change or as him doing himself up for the pay-per-view, you know, getting in the zone to the Demon pulsating on the floor against Roman in that Extreme Rules match. And like he's just getting to his feet and like he's like losing his mind, go crazy, like every 5 seconds. It's like, it's too much, man. It's just too much. Like no one asked for that. No one asked for that. And to see the Demon character kind of come this far, people were on Twitter were saying it's time to hang up the Demon. This is his third loss as the Demon. Even though I thought Finn would win, but I mean Edge, you know, it's fine. Either way that goes, it's fine to me. I really like. I was sad to see the Demon go away for as long as it did, but it's like they didn't know how to book him properly. So they started calling him the Demon King and all this extra stuff, and like they just dragged it on and made it something it was never supposed to be, in my opinion. But yeah, Edge picking up the win. Great match. You know, Finn got busted open in this match, which was super scary. They had to like really stop the match and like patch him up. Pretty scary stuff with the ladder, man. He didn't really get the best block up, but at the same time, you know, don't throw ladders at people's heads. That works too. But they've been doing it for years, like the ladder throwing at people. So it's like, it's nothing crazy, but glad to see he's good. The huge cut on his head was just absolutely insane. The coup de grace off the cage wall from the inside through the table would have been crazy if it would have connected. Execution off of the ladder was insane. Color-coded weapons. Like, this match was wild, and I loved it, man. And then finally, Roman and Cody, the main event. The reason I wanted to make this video, I was very reactionary after the match happened. After it ended, I'm like, I had a straight face, and I sat there for like 5 minutes. I'm like, nice. Just really felt like Cody's moment, you know, to me personally. He's so over. The crowd loves him. And that's even more of a reason why I guess he didn't win. You know, I don't necessarily fully agree with the narrative like, oh, the heel won. Why are people upset? The heel won. You hate that the heel won. You don't understand wrestling if you don't like the finish. Like, it's stupid. That's the stupid take. An understandable take, but a stupid take. The amount of people that believed Cody were going to win, they booked him so well. The dude was just so naturally over with the crowd that they thought it was his time. But you got people saying, oh, he hasn't faced adversity. He hasn't gone through enough yet. And, you know, and it's like the hypocritical thing with wrestling fans, you know. People complain about not getting the result they want, but then, you know, they also complain about not getting long-term booking either. So it's like, you want long-term booking, you want long-term storytelling, you want callbacks, you want all of this, but you want Cody to win right here, right now, when necessarily isn't the right time. If it did, I mean, potentially it could have been the right time. I thought it was. I believed it was. I genuinely thought Cody Rhodes was winning that title. There's so much more left to do with Roman over the course of this next year or until SummerSlam. I'm pretty sure they drag it out to Mania. There's no way they drag his reign out 3 more months just to not give Cody this win at Mania. Roman's definitely holding that title to Mania 40, man. I'd be surprised if he drops it before then. I don't know what the plans are with this title unification business. I don't know what the plans are for Roman and The Rock and Cody, and when he, like, obviously there's going to be a Cody and Reigns too. But when? You know, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, when is it going to be? So yeah, man, great show, back-to-back, like I said. Don't really care for Raw. Really hope that the shows going forward are not going to be like that. And Vince generally does pull back because there's a lot of frustrated talent backstage reportedly. And I just got back into wrestling last year, man. And it would absolutely suck if all of a sudden things just change. Things start to get worse before they get better. Things were great. The weekly shows were great. I don't want to overreact. I don't want to act like this is like a forever thing with Vince. It's just, how can he go and say I'm retiring and I'm pulling myself out of that, not touching that, and then quite literally running a whole show into the ground? Which doesn't make sense to me. And maybe I'm naive for believing that Vince McMahon would take a step back from his business, even though he doesn't technically own the company anymore. He's still an executive chairman, all that stuff. He's still overseeing things. It's been reported he has an office like right next to Gorilla. Like, basically as you walk through, he's kind of like right there. So it's like, he's never leaving this, man. He's never leaving this. Hey, man, I enjoyed Mania. I'm not going to let the Raw sour the whole review of the video. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, what you thought of Raw. Excuse me, not what you thought of Raw, what you thought of WrestleMania. And yeah, man, we're in for a ride. Cody Reigns 2, the redemption arc, finding his way back, very 2012 Cena-esque. So we're along for the ride, man. All roads lead to Mania 40. Another year. Roman Reigns is champion, man. Hopefully it's good.